Hello and welcome back to my channel. On today's video I will be showing my palette collection. Hopefully I can capture my full collection in this one video. If not, there will be two or more parts. So we're going to start with the items that I have on my filming table. This first palette is the Riviera palette that's by Anastasia Beverly Hills. When I first saw this palette, the pattern mimicked denim to me, and also it reminded me of like a beach house or vacation. So that's why I gravitated to the outer parts of the palette. And then when I opened it up to see the vibrant colors in here, of course I definitely wanted to see how those colors would apply on my skin tone. I have yet to use this palette, but it is one that I love in my collection, so hopefully I will get a chance to love on it this year. The next palette is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina palette. This is volume 5. And this palette captured me with its color story. Purple is one of my favorite colors, so you do get a purple mauve color story. You have some shimmers, you have some matte shades, and these are pressed pigments. Next collection is the crayon case. This is the New Rule palette. This palette does not come with a mirror. However, it does have those cool tones that I like to see on my skin tone. This is actually a backup of this palette. I used some of my favorite shades out of the original one and kind of panned those shades, so I wanted to purchase another one. And then I also have the matte book from Crayon Case. And this is how it looks. It is a matte palette. It is full of vibrant shades. And then these shades at the bottom right here, you can use those. Depending on your skin tone, you can use these as bronzers or to contour. The next collection is my Glam Light collection, and this is new to my makeup collection. This is the Red Velvet Cupcake palette. It does mimic a oven, and the palette kind of gives you a 3D, not kind of, it gives you a 3D cupcake with the sprinkles. It does come with a mirror, and this would be ideal for a Valentine's Day look. And this was $10. I also have the cake palette. And I picked this up from Burlington. It's also in an oven. It's in the shape of a cake. It does have a mirror, but this is another palette with vibrant colors in it. Kind of rainbow palette, but you do have some shimmer shades in here as well. Now we're going to move on to some of my larger worthy palettes that I kind of keep in this gold letter organizer. This is the 3S Oasis palette, Sweet Oasis palette. And that's how it looks. This is the 35X Big Primping palette. The 35U Gilded Desert palette. If I can get it out. have it in the frame. And then this is the Jaclyn Hill collab with Morphe. This is volume 2. This is the Nikita palette. This is the 35M palette. I've had this for a while. I think I used it one time. And then the last one that I have over in this section is the 35C Everyday Chic palette. And it does come with a little clear slip that has the shade names on it. And here are some more of my Morphe palettes. I have the Vaults. I think I'm missing one. This is the Bling Boss palette. Ring the Alarm. Armed and Gorgeous. This is the Jaclyn Hill Divine Neutrals palette. I have the 18W Natural Wonder palette. As well as the Vava Bloom palette. And these are their artistry palettes. This is the Coca-Cola 1971 Unity Collection. This one is the 18S Sunset Beats palette. And then the last one in this container is the Maddie Ziegler, the Imagination palette. And that's how it looks. And these palettes are just stored in this acrylic organizer. This one has the slits that come out so that you can make more room for your items. Moving on to my 9-pan palette, I have the 9D Painted Desert palette. (9H) Hot for Hue. (9J) Just a Crush. I will say these are hard to open. 9K Khaki Calling. (9M) Melon Pop. 9R Bronze Metal. And I like how they covered up all of the mirrors in these palettes. They have like a coated film on top of it. This one, the 9Y Hard Candy palette, is in a different packaging. It's it's similar to cardboard, so they don't have the mirror in them. 9P Petal Passion. Well, this one does have the mirror. I think I just recently got this one though. So I think the ones without the mirror are older packaging. 9X, a little extra. 9V, Vintage Rose. 9Z, Just Say Zen. 9, I'm sorry, this is just M for Morphe, Cabernet Blush. And this was a collection that came out last year around the holidays. And this next palette, which is the Champagne Glow, was also a part of that collection. And it looks like that. And these I just have stored in this little palette tray. And I think this was purchased from Bed Bath & Beyond. And I have a couple of these that I actually use for my smaller palettes. Next collection is going to be from ColourPop. This is the Malibu Barbie palette. Fine Feathered palette. High Tide palette. Bling Time palette. Wild Child. Apricot Me Not. Sonic Bloom. California Love. On the List. And this one is fairly new. It is the Enchanted palette. Very pretty. Okay, I do have some of these smaller palettes. Let's see. This one is Clear the Air. Clearly in Love. Coast is Clear. And this one is the Shell Shocked palette. It's new to my collection. That's how it looks. You'll see some of my palettes are in its packaging and some are taken out. Later in my collecting, I started to keep the packaging. There's no specific reason why some have it and some don't, or no significant reason. This is the Set in Stone palette. And I I also have the Clay It Cool palette. I need to take it out of its packaging. I think this is all of ColourPop. Don't hold me to that though, because I kind of have palettes all over the place. Next collection is Beauty Bay. This is the Berries palette. I just stuck my finger in one. This is the Earthy palette. Try to put the covering over the mirror. This is the Berries palette. Golden Age. And those were my 9-pan palettes. These are the 16-pan Fiery palette. Nude. And this one is Bright. And then we have 20-pan palettes. This is the Age of Opulence. Love Notes. Looks like candy is on this one. This is a good Valentine's palette as well. Hopefully it's showing in the frame. This one is new to me. This is the Dark Fantasy palette. And then the last one is the Nikki Tutorials collab. I may not be able to bend the mirrors back, so I'm going to show this one as the best I can. This one is kind of big. I think that'll show it better. I called myself folding one of the mirrors back, but I broke it. Okay, we're gonna go into some of my smaller or miniature palettes. This is the Pat McGrath mini eyeshadow palette, Midnight Voyage. This is a part of the Bridgerton collection. And that's how that one looks. I really recently purchased a Ultimating Beauty eyeshadow palette from the Lip Bar. I need to take it out of its packaging. It's very small as well, but the shadows are really pigmented in here. And that's how it looks. It does have a another section at the bottom where you can lift up, and there's a mirror under there. This is the Marc Jacobs 880 Terrific palette. And that's how it looks. That needs to be wiped off. I have the Natasha Denona Jubilee palette. And these were purchased from the add-ons when I was subscribed to BoxyCharm. This one is the Ayana palette. Okay, these are some ColourPop palettes. These are from a Moon, I think the collection was Moon Haze. So it's just different palettes and different packaging, and the color story matches the actual packaging. Those two are Moon Haze, I know. This palette is Rumor Has It. This one is Digital Playground. And High Society. And then these back here, I have the Cream and Sugar Bite Size palette from e.l.f. These are the color icons from Wet n Wild. This one is Camouflaunt. These aren't opened. This one is Sundays. My Lucky Charm. And Petalette. Sorry about the glare. Okay, this is foil finger paints from Tarte. This is the Milky Way eyeshadow palette. I have the Shake Your Pom Poms palette from Too Faced. Born This Way Too Faced, I guess I should say. I have the Fairy Wings and Magical Things from Essence. It has eyeshadows on both sides. I'm sorry, it still has the film on it. I haven't used this. I also have the I'm With the Band palette. And it's the same, just warmer tones. Let's see. These are palettes from Sephora. This one is Flash Sequins. This one is the Southwest Sunrise palette from the Eye Stories. Oh, I'm trying to get the glare out. And this one is I Love. I Love has been loved on, as you can tell. We're going to move on to, oh wait, there's one in the back. This is the Morphe 2 Stay Golden palette, and this has a highlight, lipstick, blush, and eyeshadow. So this is the highlight. This is the lip gloss. That is the blush and the eyeshadow, and there's a little mirror in here. Let's do these. Okay, so these are NK Makeup. This is the Under the Sea palette. Oh Honey. Watermelon Splash. Lucky Charms. This is the this is I Love Revolution, And this is the Heartbreakers palette. It's so cute. I haven't used this. Magic Collection Melted Metal. Excuse me, these are cream eyeshadows. This is from Nicka K. This is the Nude palette. This has been in my collection for a while. As well as this Perfect 12 from Absolute New York. I actually hit pan on one of them. Okay, these two are Arcade by Kiss. This is the Gemstone palette. And the Nudes palette. Believe Beauty. I have the Sultry Sunset. If I can get it open. And the other one is Love Struck. I think I had Love Struck first. I have an Amuse palette from Shop Miss A. And it is very pigmented for $1. These are from Clinique. And they are eyeshadows of cooler tones. So if you want just a natural look and you don't want to have too much of a pigment, or you don't want to have vibrant colors, then these would be ideal for that. They are buildable, but they're soft, so it gives a natural look. And I just store them in this little palette. There's 2 smaller compartments and then a larger compartment here. And I think I got this from TJ Maxx or Marshalls, and it was only about $4. Okay, this is the Nicka K Jungle Haze palette. This is new to my collection. Let's see, Nicole Miller, All That Glitters. Wonder Beauty Wondrous Escape palette. This came in a BoxyCharm, I know, because I've only swatched this palette. This is the LA Girl VIP Desert Dream palette. The mirror a little bit. And the next one is the Hey Hey Vacay palette from LA Girl. And then the newest one is the Sunkissed Glow palette from LA Girl. I just got to take it out of its slip cover that it's in. And that's how it looks. Moving on to, what's next? Okay, let's do BH Cosmetics. This is the Weekend Vibes Mimosa palette. And I also have the Los Angeles palette. The plastic is still on that one. This is the BFFs Better Together palette, Alina Moore and Anna Kohler. It still has the plastic on it as well, so I apologize for the glare. This is the BFF Alondra and Elsie palette. This one has the plastic as well. Let's see if this one comes off. And I have 5 of the Sweet Shop palettes. I am looking for the sugar cone one. I know that these have been discontinued, so my chances aren't great at finding it. But this is the Cherry on Top palette. Orange Sorbet. Cotton Candy. Pistachio. And the last one is the Bubblegum palette. And I just store them in this little letter organizer, acrylic letter organizer right there. Okay, so I do have the all-inclusive palette from Milani. I can't remember if this has volume 120 medium to deep is what it says, because I don't think it has an actual palette name. And this comes with like a highlight, blush, bronzer, so all in one. This is the NYX Off Tropics palette. I recently did a video where I used this eyeshadow palette. I purchased 2 palettes from C Color. This one is the Milky Way eyeshadow palette, and I think, well, I know this is a dupe for, I don't think this is open. Oh, let's see. This is a dupe for one of the Huda Beauty palettes. And then I also purchased the C Color Autumn palette. This definitely still has the film on it. I did swatch that black shade just to see if the shimmer would actually show up on a swatch, and it did. On this side, this is the Uma Good Morning Zamunda palette. I do have a look on my channel with this eyeshadow as well. This is new to my collection. This is the Wet n Wild Metallic palette. And this is how the packaging looks. And those are, sorry, the film is still on her. Those are the shades. What's left? Okay. These are from NK Makeup. This is the Spiced Up palette. And the Sugar Coat palette. This is the Warm Up palette from Makeup Obsessions. And these are, this is the Neon palette from Profusion. I also have their Moths palette. This palette is from e.l.f. and it is called Opposites Attract. And I think I'm going to go ahead and end part 1 of my collection here. Stay tuned for part 2. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications. Have a blessed day.